So you're saying that instead of what the teacher could be doing, which is, for example, they're lecturing, doing a mini lesson, they're trying to get students to understand how to, let's just say their goal for the day was to try to get them to um, add fractions with unlike denominators or something like that. But
Yep.
instead of doing that, the teacher is leading them through tasks, sequential tasks that go from easy to hard, eventually leading to understanding that, how to add fractions with unlike denominators. It's kind of
Yep.
like that. It replaces that kind of lecture, but
Right.
students are doing the actual work.
Yep. So they're doing that cognitive lift, as John mentioned earlier. They're doing the thinking, but it's a very carefully sequenced set of tasks so that they learn something from question one that helps them do question two, and they learn something from question two that helps them do question three, and so on and so forth. But is it without flaw? No, they're going to hit hiccups. They're going to get stuck. They're going to get frustrated. When they start to get frustrated, the teacher's there giving them what they need to push them forward just in time, as Julie Dixon says, just in time to move them to the next stage. But that differentiated support, not assuming that everybody can't do it, but placing that support where students really are struggling rather than, and then leaving the students who are capable to move forward and so on and so forth, so that everyone is always thinking. Everyone is in that productive struggle. They're all thinking, they're working their way forward. They're meaning making. It's messy. At about a 2/3 point of the lesson, the teacher will bring them all back together at a whiteboard, and we'll basically go through a consolidation activity where what the teacher is trying to do is get them to notice and name variation of tasks. So there'll be 3 questions on the board of 3 different difficulty level, but they're out of order, right? So the first one is not the easiest one. And the first prompt is that the teacher will say, here, I put up 3 questions that are very similar to the ones you just did, but I may have put them in the wrong order. What order should they be in and why? And then the kids do a turn and talk, and they're talking. So this is the first opportunity they actually have to see multiple questions at the same time. And now they're able to notice and name variation and invariance here. They're noticing, well, the third question should be first because it's a common denominator, right? And the first question should be second because they're not common denominator, but they're friendly denominator, right? Like one denominator is 5 and the other one's 10, right? It's really easy to convert that. And then the middle one is the hardest because the denominators are very different. We're going to have to do some work on that one. And then, they tell us that. They tell me that as a teacher that's the order they should be in. And then we kind of work through them together in a plenary setting, and not me giving a lecture, but me asking probing questions. So what is something I can do here? Okay, you can add, someone will say, well, add the numbers on top. Okay, so add the numerators. What about the denominators? No, don't add the denominators. Why not? And they'll talk about that. And can someone explain to me how we can see that that's why we don't add the denominator? And someone will tell us to draw a pie chart or a rectangle or something. They'll show us and how we're adding fifth and then more fifths and so on and so forth. And we'll move to the second question. What do we have to do here? And well, we got to convert the 1/5 to 2/10. Well, how can we do that? And so I'm asking probing questions. They're giving me what they need. I'm only acting as a scribe in terms of what gets written on the board. But of course, I'm controlling the narrative through the questions I'm asking. But it's the questions I'm asking, not the things that I'm saying, right? I'm asking them to articulate and justify and so on and so forth.